Bless up, bless up, bless up, bless up. What's up, everybody? Coming on here late, sticking to my commitment to have 30 live streams to integrate the teachings that I've learned in technically speaking. And I committed to doing topics that may be challenging to me, some topics that may be easy. And this topic that I'm covering today is muy difícil. Thank you, Duolingo. Very difficult. No, it's not as difficult. So this video is going to be great for you if you've been in a relationship and you've broken up. You are experiencing heartbreak, heartache, and you may be missing your former partner. Okay, you may be missing him or her. And you're like, damn, you may not want to admit it either. You may be like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And you may not be. Here's something I want to share with you. Pain makes you stronger. Fear makes you braver. Heartbreak makes you wiser. When I read this quote, it really hit home for me, especially after a dream that I had last night. I'm a big moon fan, so a lot of times when we have full moons and things like this, that energy can get a lot of things to release, a lot of things to come up to be let go. So last night, I had this really funky dream, and it was like a whole bunch of stuff were going on. And as the dream ended, I saw my former girlfriend there in a culmination of what looked like an apartment. It wasn't my specific apartment, but it was somewhere that we were creating a closure. Like we were wrapping things up, and I could feel it in the dream. And leading up to this, my mind's been been thinking about my former girlfriend, and just like how she's doing, like who she's with, and things like this. And I knew it was time for me to address this. I knew it was time for me to handle this. So it's really cool how this all came out for the dream. In real life, how we ended it, it was kind of cold because I had a lot of my defenses up. Yet in the dream, I was able to soften, and I was able to really allow the space and the things that we had created together, allow them to come to an end naturally. So what was really interesting is that as we were going in the dream, we ended, we wrapped up, we left the place, and then we came to a beach, and I saw her start to roll off into the distance, and her back was turned towards me. And I remember in the dream sensing this longing to make. I hope she looks back. I hope she looks back. I hope she looks back. And in the dream, I recognized I don't want her to look back because this is over. And when I recognized that in the dream, I saw myself. I was actually in a boat too, like going a separate way. Oh man, thanks, Oleg. Yeah, great time. Yeah, this was wild, man. I'm looking forward to your feedback on this. So I noticed that I was in the boat going away from the island too, and this island represented the relationship that we had together. And I came out of the dream I was very sad. Like I was just like I would be free of saying it was a mistake. It was just everything that we had just kept coming up. And when I was in that space, I went into meditation, and three things came to me that helped me to address what I was experiencing at the time. And bless up to everybody that's logging in. Like if you're logging on through YouTube, like, share, subscribe, Facebook, just tap in, like say hey or where you're calling in from. So when I was in the meditation, three things came up for me that helped me to really heal and to put that part of my life to bed, to allow it to allow the lessons to come from it and allow myself to really be nurtured. So the first thing that came up in my meditation after this dream was, what is it I'm really missing? And this was a key factor for me because I over the past several weeks, especially since I had done this plant medicine journey several weeks ago, I experienced a lot of this missing component. And I was curious as to what it was because it's been a while since we've been broken up and been separated and we haven't spoken. But I recognized one of the things that made this difficult for me because I had to recognize what is it that I'm truly missing. And what came from that is that I wasn't necessarily missing her. It was the thought of what I was missing, what I thought it could be. Okay. And I was missing who I thought she was or who I wanted her to be. So what's really interesting about this is that when we get in relationships, and I think it's important for everybody to recognize this, when we get in relationships, our senses and our mind and our sight can deceive us, especially if we go in failing to truly be cognizant of everything that's around us, everything that's going on within the relationship. So, specifically speaking, like in my mind, like I recognized there were certain things like I wanted the relationship to be. So even though the relationship had its dings, especially towards the end, there was still my mind was still living in a place with a possibility of where this could be, rather than acknowledging what it was. And what it was is at the time relationship, it was time for the relationship to end. Yet part of what I was missing was what I thought this relationship could be. Now, also in this is that like part of what I was missing was who I thought we could be together. And while at the end of the relationship, we recognized like, look, this isn't going to work out. There's still a part of me that was longing, that was missing that thing of that vision of where I saw us later on down the road. So I think it's important for us to recognize is that when we're really missing someone, especially if we're coming out of a relationship, divorce, what are we really missing? Are we missing that person, or are we missing what we thought that person, we could be with that person, or we could be together, or what I thought this was, right? Or what I wanted it to be. Please be aware that, again, our mind can play tricks on us. And a lot of times when we get caught up in emotion, the rational thought, the observer mind will fail to miss the cues and also fail to be present. That's where you see a lot of people being in relationships for long past their due date because they keep holding on to something that can be. Now, for some people that can work, but in most situations, if one person is thinking of where it can be and there's no communication or no buy-in from the other person, then it's going to be you're leading yourself to a dead end. Now, once you recognize this, it's real as acknowledging this and then acting on what is. So, what I mean by that and what came through in the meditation is now that you know that you're missing what could be, like, what is it that you want? What is it that you wanted in relationship that you failed to get in that past relationship? And it's free of being either right or wrong for your ex-partner. It's none of that. It's more for you and acknowledging like what comes up for you. What is something that now you think you've missed that maybe you can carry on into the next relationship? And then also, if you're really looking at self-reflection, it's an opportunity to look at like, okay, well, what was my contribution to this? What could I have done differently for myself and for this relationship and for future partners? It really is a great way to take this sensation or this feeling of like, I'm missing this person, I'm sad, to being able to take it to an observer mind to extract a lesson from that past relationship. Now, when you're able to do that, you're able to really see and like, hey, listen, is this a place where I stay? Is this a place where I leave? I shift, I course correct, rewire. This is all things that can become possible once you acknowledge like, hey, what is this really, right? What was it that I really thought this was? And then what is the way I'm going to act on that knowledge or that wisdom that I've extracted? Now, the third thing that came up with this is give thanks and praises. Give thanks and praises. As much as I do miss the past relationship and what I thought we could have had, I do. And like, there's times like now it's like not as much, but I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it was time. Like our relationship had hit an expiration date. And it's an opportunity for me. Like what was really cool about this morning and after the meditation, like there was a little bit of extra, not even sadness, like boo hoo, but just like more of like an appreciation, a gravitas for what we created together, the life we created together, the fun times, the laughs, the conversations, because that helped me grow as a person. And I'm thinking that it helped her grow as a person too. So whatever happens for us in our next relationships, we've grown from our past experiences. And this brings up a quote from Dr. Seuss. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. So I share this with you all because listen, regardless of what the circumstance was with your past relationship, if you're missing that person, if you're angry with that person, whatever the scenario is, I invite you to look over these 3 tips and extract the lesson, extract the gem, extract what you learned. Because again, if I keep looking back on this relationship, it's going to be extremely difficult for me to move forward in anything new and create a new experience based on what I've learned from the old ones. So listen, I hope this helps out. I hope this helps you. I hope this supports you if you're going through a relationship withdrawal and you're missing your former partner or you're just lost right now. Take this opportunity to really settle in because again, don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoyed this. Share this with a friend. Tag them in this. Let them know. And if you have some comments about what you heard, put it in the comments. I'll respond back to it. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for paying attention. And like I'm always open to feedback on how this landed for you. Peace out, everybody. Have a great night. And I'm out.